Well, we understand that the Russians have been trying to, some people use the word influence, some people say corrupt, some people just say mess with the American political process, right?
Right.
There's the investigation into the Trump collusion, but now they are understanding that Russians are getting involved in almost everything. But these Facebook ads, they were happening before and after, and especially since the election, where they're actually getting ads, or they have fake stories or trolls that write incendiary stuff on both sides. So they'll have like a fake account that's like a Black Lives Matter account, but it's not a real Black Lives Matter account. There's some
fake news.
Yeah, and they're pumping out all these things that'll anger like a white Republican, and the white Republican will see on their feed. Right. Then they'll get a troll to mimic an alt-right white nationalist type to troll and to put up fake news that'll anger people on the left and just to mess with us and to get us to fight amongst each other.
It's amazing too how good they are at mimicking. You know, because I think, oh, you know, Russians, they don't know a lot about our culture, but they've really done research and they know exactly how to fake these posts, and it's very impressive. I gotta say, a lot of the examples, I'm like, I wouldn't think that that's a hacker. I would think that that's someone just who really thinks that, you know?
Plain old American.
It's the Russians. So.
Well, like, I'll give you an example. Like, on top of, they had these farms that would curate these fake news stories, right? Farms. Farms, just basically a bunch of computer geeks putting their...
in a random...
In Russia.
Yeah, not a real farm. Yes, they have these all over the place too.
Like an empty house, you know, just like sleeping on air mattresses.
Okay, don't get hooked on the word farm.
Because I'm like, what is this?
It's the zoo. We're in the zoo, so we got it.
It's like a hostel of like computer geeks, and they're like, for instance, they had one account that was linked to somebody in the Kremlin that was the profile of a black lady, an African American woman, the name Crystal One Johnson on Twitter. And she would tweet all this stuff that would anger like Republicans.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that there was somebody in the Kremlin doing that to get same thing. They'll have like some white nationalist Southern, you know, hillbilly saying all these things about Hillary Clinton, and people are getting all upset. And it turns out it's not some actual guy; it's somebody in Russia. And here's my question to you guys. What does it say about our culture that Russia is trying to mess with our democracy by attacking our social media sensitivities?
It's super simple. Divide y ganarás. That's it. Like, if you divide people, you're always going to get ahead. Porque la unión hace la fuerza. So if a society stands together to something, like, it's really hard to go against them. And if you divide them, it's going to be good. So they're making it really smart. Does this have anything to do with the technological war? Where, like, or no?
Well, no.
Because there's also fake followers going on and
that too.
stuff.
That too. Well, they have bots and fake followers. I think that one other story I read was one of the Republican candidate for some seat down in the South. I forget what state. If you guys can help me in the control room, the guy Moore, his last name is Moore. He took out a gun.
What?
And he won the primary. He took out a gun in the middle of you know, some press conference and rally and said, I'm for, you know, the Second Amendment. All these Russian bots started following him to make him have an increased followership. His name is Roy Moore from Alabama. And all these Russian bot profiles started following him to give him a lot of full profiles because they're like, that guy's incendiary. He's divisive. Let's make sure.
It's a real shame that obviously, you know, these Russian bots are influencing people on social media, and the people on social media, and it happens all the time with all these apps, you know, they actually believe all of this fake news being put out there.
Today, we are making a big deal about Russia and Facebook and hacking and all their digital muckraking.
While Facebook has yet to release specifics about the hyper-political ads bought by Russia during the 2016 election, we do know they've been hell-bent on stirring up trouble among the extremes.
From starting Black Lives Matter Facebook groups and sharing incendiary posts about police brutality to helping organize alt-right rallies and protests.
These Russian clickbait farms are trying to fire up people who are on political and social extremes to make us feel like a divided country.
And that's where we can look if we want to find hope.
Because maybe if there's anything we can learn from this, it's that Democrats and Republicans,
Black Lives Matter activists and police,
SJWs and alt-right trolls,
just hung out a little bit offline where there are no Russian trolls to escalate division. We might have more in common than we think.
So remember, the next time you see something online that makes you want to hate someone on the other side, ask yourself, could it be Russian instigation?